Well, hello Steve, and hello everybody else. This is a fabulous, wonderful December sunny day at Brambletye.
Yeah, we've got a great day for it. You should see the shade. It's nice being in it. It's about 20 degrees at the moment. It's extraordinary weather.
I think you can actually see from what we're actually wearing. I don't have any thermals or anything underneath. I've got a dress on. Who would be sitting in a dress outside in the, near the end of December?
Yeah, 23rd. We did have some rain, obviously we need it, but it's also nice for the sun to come out. It's incredible for building in. People think that I close the house up for winter and open it back up in the spring, but we can work all winter really, except the occasional 3 days in February and March.
You've actually, I mean, as you quite rightly said, people have said to you, you've had questions, and people have said, oh, well, you're closing everything up, haven't they? I mean,
yeah.
And it's quite bizarre,
Yeah.
Especially when we've been seeing snow in different places of the world at this moment in time.
No, I've often said that January's been the best building month,
yeah.
And it has been the best building month. We get more done then than we have at any time because we haven't got that searing heat. It's quite easy to work in this weather. Even when it gets cold, it's nice. I quite enjoy it. So the weather thus far, I'll probably be eating my words in a few weeks' time when it's blowing a what do they call it?
A storm, a gale, a hoolie,
going sideways in my face with snow coming at me. But it is what it is, and we just try and work through it really.
Well, talking about that, it is the lead up to Christmas, and one of the facts that I actually found out, which I found was quite amazing, because Abruzzo, when you talk about Abruzzo, nobody really knows where is Abruzzo. We used to have those questions quite a lot. We don't get them quite so much now because people are realising where Abruzzo is. But one fantastic thing that's happened for the region, the Christmas tree, this 30-metre high Christmas tree, actually came from Abruzzo to the Vatican, and it was unveiled on the 3rd of December. It's, I'll give you the bit of information that I do know, Steve. It's a white fir tree. It came from a small mountain village of a place called Rosello. Only got about 182 inhabitants.
Yeah, it's not too far from us. It's a little bit, I think it's a little bit further south.
It is, but it came from that region, and it is a huge privilege for obviously Abruzzo, but especially for the people who live in that village. And
yeah, it doesn't happen every year, does it?
No, oh no, they choose the Christmas tree from different European destinations. So to think that the tree this year came from Italy, but it actually came from Abruzzo. I think Steve's going to put a link on.
Yeah, it hasn't been without its controversy, but it's an interesting story.
Yeah.
If you like stories, have a read. It's a good one. I'll put the link along the bottom here, but more importantly, I can put it in the description so that you'll be able to. It can be interactive, so you can link straight into the story actually.
Because this was not the original tree that they were going to have at the Vatican, so that is part of the story. But I'm not going to say too much more. You'll have to have a
you
look
need to
for
read
yourself.
The story. Yeah, it's a good one.
So that was sort of one of our Christmas links that we've had.
Yeah.
And what would you say the next one was?
Ooh.
Well, we went to visit our favourite little town, which is close to us, and I can never pronounce the word right. I get corrected all the time. How would you pronounce Quadrigalia?
It's a bit of a tongue twister, and even if I say it, Quadrigalia,
we'd have said it wrong.
You see people wincing at you, and you automatically think, I've said it wrong again. So it's Quadrigalia. It's
about, would you say 20 minutes away from us?
Yeah, it's a beautiful village. Yeah, very authentic, very, very old, and it's got a wall all the way around it, and it's on top of a hill, slightly higher than we are here.
And a lot of the shops and everything in, especially Via Roma, which is one of the sort of pedestrianised streets as such, the little shops have got the vaulted ceilings, very similar to the vaults that we've actually got in our house, in the farmhouse of Brambletye. And there was one that we actually visited. I visited there a couple of years ago and bought some ceramic baubles. They do some beautiful baubles, and the lady, Stefania, actually hand paints everything. So I shall show you our nativity scene that Steve actually bought us. It is tiny.
It's quite small.
It's very small because we haven't really got a farmhouse to live in at the moment. You might have to get it a bit closer,
You might have
Steve.
to put that, if we can put that there, I think we can see it a little bit better. She hand paints all these, they're beautiful. And yeah.
But she doesn't just do nativity scenes or anything. She, as I say, she does the Christmas bauble. She does lots of things for Christmas, plates, platters, etc. But then obviously she has a fantastic range of things throughout the year. By the way, we're not getting paid for any of these things that I'm mentioning, but it was just well worth the visit. And for us to have a little nativity scene, it was good.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find a way to get paid in the future.
Do you think
like
so?
That, yeah.
Oh, but the other thing, I know perhaps we hadn't sort of mentioned it, but there was also another nativity scene, and it was right in the middle of sort of Godregalia with a great big Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
what did Button do? Oh
Yeah.
gosh, he had to sniff the little sheep
Yeah.
because they were all quite big
Yeah, it was a bit of a mock-up of a nativity scene.
underneath the Christmas tree.
Things made out of wool, cardboard, black felt. You can understand what the sheep looked like now. Button was
She was so inquisitive.
She was sniffing them all over. She was walking in and out the crib, and it was nice to see. Quite funny, really, because it looked like Gromit, Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, actually, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Shaun the sheep, with three of them,
And Button.
It was
Button.
funny, yeah.
And going back to the weather at the moment, we've got to really make the most of it because it is fabulous. You know how I've been growing the raised not the raised vegetables, although mind you, they did rise. The vegetables in the raised garden.
That's a good way of putting it, isn't it?
Yeah, they did rise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my vegetables have done fantastic. The winter crop that we've actually put in, one thing, the Brussels sprouts will not be ready for Steve's Christmas dinner.
I did ask Lynn a few days ago, do you think the Brussels sprouts will be ready for Christmas Day? And she gave me an honest answer and said no. And I was wondering, because I'd only seen them the day before, but they're microscopic.
I think they're probably the size of not even the size of a pea.
Yeah.
No,
they're
not.
They're
growing. They're growing.
They're growing, and they're probably growing well. But we've never grown.
We'll get Brussels sprouts probably January, February maybe.
That's another thing. Price of Brussels sprouts in Italy.
In Italy,
you get a handful for £1.20. So if you're sitting at home, specifically
actually
for people.
£1.20 was cheap.
Yeah.
Because I think we paid £1.76.
Wow.
We did.
Oh.
So actually, every single little Brussels sprout that Steve eats, he will truly appreciate.
I will.
Right, but
Nuggets.
the other thing is,
Of
I've had to
sprouts.
pick the rest of the chilies because we did have a frost, although it's glorious sunshine, we are getting some frost mornings when we get up at about 6 o'clock in the morning and sort of have a little venture out with Button. There is frost on the ground, and obviously that has taken a toll on the chilli plants now. So I have picked the last of the chilies, and if I was to tell you how many chilies that we've actually got of 6 plants throughout the summer and now.
Goes into the hundreds.
Yeah, now I've made paste. I have got chilies in oil. I've got chilies in vinegar. I have got dried chilies. I've been told to make chili jam, chili chutney. Any other suggestions? Please tell me, because I still have a bowl full of fresh chilies, a mixture between green, red and that orangey colour.
Nice.
But good job, we actually like chilies and it keeps you warm.
Yeah.
So that was that. And then, what have we been noticing as we've been sort of getting up in the morning or even hearing at night time?
There's a lot of the fields around us have been dug up. I've noticed when we've been taking Button for her walk in the morning, particularly early, because the rutting is quite fresh. I think it's from deer and it's from what's called chingali, which is the local wild boar. They're in abundance here, and as you probably know, we're on the side of a mountain. Although we've got a flat piece here behind the property, it starts to graduate upwards, and the chingali come down from the colder, higher plain in droves. I mean, you're talking 100, 200 chingali. Fortunately, having Button, it seems to dissuade them from coming here anymore.
But we can
in the
see
fields
them.
next door,
can see.
you can definitely see big holes in the ground, and they are like diggers.
They actually are looking for, a lot of the time, it's the roots and root vegetables. Some of the local people who just grow their vegetables in the ground without any fencing around, if they're growing potatoes in particular, they'll have just been destroyed. They just get eaten by the Chingali, and that's one of the reasons that we've just got the fine fence around the raised beds, which is really good.
It works. Just a bit of steel rebar, about 1 metre long, and some very cheap, it's very thin steel fencing. Just puts them off. And the vegetation around here, there are other places that the pigs know they can go, that they don't have a fence to get through, and I think that's what works for us here.
Button has a good sniff in the morning though, because obviously when we walk her around some of the fields nearby, her nose is right down there and she's sniffing around. She's sniffing all the different animals that we have. I mean, I actually found quite a few footprints of either wild boar or deer and everything, didn't we?
Yeah.
But then the other thing, which Abruzzo is famous for at this moment in time, and it's literally just come out yesterday, there is a wild bear, a brown bear that is native. It's quite rare.
Marcus
Marisacan. Now I'm not pronouncing it correctly, probably not, but it is a brown bear that is actually native to the national park. There's only about 50 of them in the area, and I'm going to mention it because we actually loved it, didn't we? We watched, it's a small little video, it's on YouTube, and it was called My Neighbour the Bear. And if you haven't seen it, I suggest you watch it, because you're going to put a link about it. It's amazing. Yeah,
it's an incredible story of one lady's affair with these bears.
Sabrina, she was called.
Sabrina, and the village is incredible because the whole village are supportive of her. I won't tell you the story. In the face that bears, they go through your rubbish bins.
They climb fences.
They easily go through vegetable patch fences, so we'd have a problem there. But it's a touching story, and it's very, very well made. The filming is incredible. Beautiful film. I hope that she does.
I hope she does well with it.
Really, really. I don't know what the final outcome. Bear sanctuary.
Well, no, I think
things like that.
I think there are some of the villages within the area where these bears are. That I read from a local paper yesterday that one of these bears had sort of approached a restaurant in the area.
The only thing you could say, and I think a lot of people will agree with me, if you take the emotional side out of it, it's quite a dangerous thing to have a bear walking down your high street.
Oh God, yeah.
Especially when it's known in the Italian villages that the kids play on the streets and they're completely safe.
Well, they don't get many cars, do they?
They don't, but even toddlers can be on their own out there. So a few mixed feelings, and I hope it goes well for them. But
I think it was worth mentioning because for us, I mean, it's part of Abruzzo and we are part of Abruzzo.
It's incredible to have bears here.
Yes.
And they might not necessarily be aggressive, but if they're cornered, if they're reacting to something.
I mean, it's like the Chingali. I mean, I posted something on Facebook in relationship to the wild boar, and some of the replies that we've had, and somebody even said that at the moment, they've got problems in Rome with the wild boars.
Yeah.
They've got problems in Texas. There's problems in Israel, we know from David, with the wild boar. Here they do actually hunt the wild boar, but at only certain times, and they have got restrictions. Button's sort of trying to get in on the scene, by the way, and it's actually quite important that she's got in on the scene just now, because today is Button's birthday.
Yeah.
How old is Button today, Steve?
3 years old.
He's 3 years old.
Hello, Button. She's just having a little nosh. She's very happy, very content dog, aren't you?
She does know that Steve's got a few little snacks here for her, actually.
Yeah.
But it's Button's third birthday, and for those of you who may be just tuning in today and don't really know much about us or know anything about Button, you might see from her face that she's a border collie, but she's a Border Collie cross. Her mum was the Border Collie, and her dad was what's called a Maramana, and it's a pastoral Abruzzese dog. So her father is a dog from this region, from Abruzzo, and Steve actually paid €30 for Button. And
yeah. I hate to think what maybe her life would have been like had we not found her. But no, she lives a 5-star life, I can assure you.
And I made, it might be in a nice box.
Happy.
It's Hotel Chocolat, but I made for Button special biscuits. So I'll just show you the biscuits that I made. I think, Button,
What's
would you
that?
like one of these, sweetie? Would you like a biscuit? Oh yes, we're lacking our lips. I think I might give her it in half. This is made with sweet potato, peanut butter, flour. Oh yes, we like it. I'm pleased I made them. She's got quite a few, but I'll have to give her them. Oh, you're going to take the whole thing? Oh my goodness. So it's Button's birthday, so a little later we are probably going to go for a walk along the beach.
Yeah.
Because that's one of Button's favourite things. It would have been beach and mountains.
Yeah.
And there's no snow in the mountains at the
She
moment.
was telling me the other day that, you know, it's not great having your birthday close to Christmas because you don't get the time.
Yeah, 23rd of December.
You don't get time, do you? You just, it's your birthday, Christmas Day. Yeah, so,
Yeah, but I did make a biscuit special.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but Button truly is very, very happy. She's super friendly.
I think I'm doing better. Look, he's not even had look.
Not even,
look at the difference.
Not even had a drink.
He's not had one glass,
I don't want to be
one
seen,
little sip.
I don't want to be seen as a drinker. Anyway, cheers.
When you say not want to see him as a drinker, you had a surprise this week.
I did. Yeah, surprise was, do you want this one? The surprise was to go to...
Well, first of all, let me explain one thing. When we were in the UK, Steve had his own business, and I worked for a very large company that didn't have Christmas functions. So every year we would have our own little Christmas dinner party.
Yep.
Just the two of us. We would go somewhere nice and have a nice meal, and that would be our Christmas day out.
Yep.
Or evening out. And I decided that why should we miss out if we're here in Abruzzo? We have to have the Brambletye party. So I found somewhere, I found a lovely winery, and they had 3 different functions on. They had the sparkling Christmas, they had the white Christmas and the red Christmas. So why do you think I picked the red Christmas for you, Steve?
Montepulciano.
And that was exactly the reason.
It was great. They did fantastic. It was more like a dinner.
Oh well, we didn't quite know what to expect.
I was quite surprised, but it's in the top of the tower. Yeah, so it's Frentana.
Cantina Frentana.
Cantina Frentana, which is near Fossacessia.
Yeah, it's towards that direction.
And it's only it's not far from the actual Adriatic, the coastline, which you can actually see from the top of the tower. They go out in the summer. You can go out. Yeah,
on the outside of the tower.
You're more or less 100 feet suspended in the air, and this round turret type tower, modern.
It was a 3-course meal.
With a
we didn't expect that, did we?
Yeah, I did not expect a 3-course meal. So you did very well there. Got
and
cups now.
The other good thing was we actually got the opportunity to put proper glad rags on, and God, did Steve look the part. I think he looked the part.
Yeah, don't scrub up not too badly, me.
Somebody said I looked a bit like Veronica Lake. I think she's quite an old actress, but it was actually quite a nice little quote. I thought someone said I looked like, because I posted a few pictures. And
well, it might be sleepy Abruzzo, but let me tell you, folks,
no, it's not that sleepy.
It's all going on. The wineries have obviously got to promote themselves in Abruzzo. They've got the wine, they've got the quantity to be able to sell as well, which is astonishing. And the quality is absolutely fantastic. I can't say...
And service was great.
I can't say enough good about it. And at the cantina...
Yeah, we had excellent service.
The service was second to none. The chef came out and we watched the...
we had a proper chat with him.
Well, we watched the penalties of the World Cup going on.
He even gave you his phone. He gave you his phone.
I mean, it was incredible. What I like is that friendly atmosphere where people make you feel as though you're not just welcome, but you get to know them, so you just don't go there once. We can go back
But we
again.
also, I mean, we mix with other tables as well, other people on their tables, which was lovely.
Yeah.
We had a good laugh and everything.
Yeah.
And it was a lovely, lovely evening. So really, that was Steve's
And we are going out
surprise Christmas. Oh yeah, we are going out for Christmas Day.
Christmas Day here. I suppose in England or in other parts of the world, maybe, I don't really know, but here you can go out for Christmas lunch. So
yeah, a very nice Christmas lunch in our area.
So it's called pranzo. Pranzo is lunch in Italian, but it's quite specific here, the lunch. It's quite long, it's about 4 hours long, and copious amounts of wine again, just at a local restaurant. Lovely, and it's full. The restaurant is full.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the families. There are tables of almost like 20 people on the tables. Yeah. I mean, we are just going, the two of us. Normally, in the particular restaurant that we're going to, Button would come along because they know Button so well, and Button would just sit underneath the table. I mean, obviously on Christmas Day there's going to be a lot of people there, a lot of children, a lot of people, etc. And it's not fair on Button because she'll want to go and say hello to everybody. So we're going to go there. So I think from Steve and I, if I'm going to say a few things which are related to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love you to come along on our journey with us, on our adventure, on our crazy experiences that we have, whether it's working in the garden, but more importantly working on the house. And I'm going to touch on this because I don't think you get the credit that you should get, Steve, because the reality is he works so hard. You do. And the fact is, things don't happen overnight.
Yeah.
Because we are just two people, and you have to collect the materials, you have to prepare the materials, you have to prepare everything that you're doing, you have to make sure that the planning and everything is correct. Every single thing that Steve does, he is following the appropriate planning for seismic and everything else that you are doing. And it takes some time, and it takes, I've said before, you've got really great muscles in these arms and everything.
But you're robbing yourself if you don't, play to the planning rules. Especially here, it's not that difficult. It's understanding them to the letter of the law sometimes, because the words they're not common words that we would use in Italian on a daily basis. So misconstruing can happen. But no, in general, I feel that we're doing a genuine job. I don't feel that we're not doing anything we've been asked of, and we're not going over the top particularly. I like to over-engineer naturally. I just think it's a better way to approach something.
But I think partly I was trying to get at, we get questions, and I get questions from friends of ours as well. Oh, when is it going to be finished? But the reality is, we cannot put a specific date on when it's going to be finished. I would love to think that next year we may be downstairs in Brambletye for Christmas.
Not without a roof.
But we need a roof.
Yeah.
We've got a tin roof at the moment. There's lots going on. I really don't want to sort of go on too much about it, but the reality is we can only work as fast as we can.
There's a lot of
and
jobs
within
to do.
our budget. So, by the way, the winery only cost us €25 a head with 3-course meal and all the wine that we had.
Yeah,
Sorry about that. I just needed to add that in because I wanted to sort of say that we do spend carefully because we are so concerned about what we're doing on the building.
Yeah.
It's important.
It's not an endless pot of cash, and
No.
it's as simple as that. And you come up against hidden costs here in Italy.
I think you do everywhere you are at the moment.
Italy's a funny one. Even the Italians will tell you.
Oh yes, definitely.
It's a courageous thing to take on a project here of any kind, of any sort, with regards to building, because some of the planning rules and regulations, they're so full of bureaucracy that it stops you from getting on with the building sometimes in your tracks. But we're working the best we can and within the rules, let's say.
And I think really we want to end on a high note because we have achieved so much this year. And in fact, that's going to be another video. when we're actually onto our 1 year of giving you videos, which will be around about the 12th of January, we're going to give you a sort of summary of kind of what we have done and what we have achieved within this year, so you can see for yourself.
But we are approaching a couple of thousand subscribers. Well,
we're nearly 2,000, and I would love us to get to 2,000. That was going to be my aim for Christmas. That was my aim for Christmas, and we're over the 1,800 mark. So, you know, there's only a few days left. So if you haven't subscribed, maybe I might get an early Christmas present and get my 2,000. That would be nice.
Yeah. And
you never know.
You know, we are on Patreon. We do have a GoFund page for certain parts of the building, which you can read up again in the description at your preference.
But the reality is, this is a Christmas from Brambletye to all of you there. In fact, as you can see, Steve's actually caught up to me now. We better top up our glasses before we say cheers to you or salute.
But we have, just to let you know, so I don't think there's any problems in revealing a bottle of the name.
Montepulciano?
Yeah. So
which is this one we've got?
Montepulciano d'Abruzzo.
Is this one from just the
This is a reserve.
the local supermarket?
Yeah. So this is a reserva. It sounds posh, but actually it's not at all. It's
what,
about
2018 it says on the back.
It's 20. Well, yeah.
2018.
It's about €4.50, something like that. I think I'm about right. But it's so smooth. It's like
very nice.
It's like velvet. It's not like. This is probably one of my favourite bottles here for a standard meal.
I'm still waiting. And I want to. Well, I'll just do salute with what I've got. You never top me up. But that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I thought I was topping.
Okay. So, salute and Merry Christmas. But I've got one more thing I forgot to show you. Can I show you, please?
Yeah.
Can we do salute?
Yeah.
Salute, Steve. Salute, everybody. I hope you're looking at our eyes, because I'm looking at yours. Good wine.
Gorgeous.
Right. We got our first Christmas card in the post.
Oh, right.
I forgot all about it. I'm going to show this.
Yeah, we have an address now.
We do have an address.
Yeah.
It took a little while, but we have got an address, and we got a very pretty Christmas card. And I want to show you what's inside it, because after just having the discussion that we've just had about the cost of things and everything else, this kind of ties in quite nicely. We got sent 2 festive lottery tickets. We haven't done them yet, and the lovely person that sent us these, it's Dawn and Paul. So thank you so much to Dawn and Paul for sending us these. You never know what might happen. You've got one and I've got one.
Oh, okay. I'll take the
so on Christmas Day, we'll tell you the results.
Okay.
So
bye for now.
Bye from now. Cheers. Salute.
Cheers.